Hello, welcome to my channel. I am so glad you stopped by to spend some time with me today. It's hard to believe how quickly spring is passing. April is always such a lovely month here in South Carolina. There is so much activity going on in my area, and the weather is so beautiful that all I want to do is to be outdoors. As we move closer to summer, we also move farther into the growing season, and that means it's time for many of the local farmers markets to open again. I love going to the farmers markets. I believe it's so important to support not only local farmers, but local creators as well. The only thing that beats the produce grown by local farmers would be produce that I grow myself. Produce that is freshly picked just tastes so much better than store-bought produce. There are so many wonderful farmers selling everything from produce to meat, eggs, and dairy. These are some of the nicest and hardest working people I know. I've gotten to know quite a few of the vendors at a couple of my local farmers markets. There are some wonderful people who are making some amazing products out there, and I love to support them as much as possible. One of my favorite purchases this week was a sourdough baguette from this fun local baker. She names her sourdough starter cute names like Dolores, Doughy Parton, and Dolene. So much fun. I love traditionally made foods like sourdough bread, and hers was so tasty too. I will definitely be stopping by her booth to get more this season. But there are other amazing vendors as well. The Honest Elderberry Company sells all-natural elderberry syrup with ingredients you actually recognize. And they also sell elderberry honey with regional honey. And it tastes so good too. I just love the farmers market. Of course, this time of year, it's also strawberry season. I love being able to get fresh local strawberries. They are so much better than the store-bought, and I absolutely love this time of year. Strawberries are one of my favorite fruits, and they're just so delicious. Last week, I did get to spend time exploring another local state park. My sister came to town to visit, and she and my stepmother and I went to Deer Island State Park to hike. This park sits on a beautiful lake called Lake Murray, and while you hike through the forest, for so much of the trail you can also see the lake. It offered spectacular views. The terrain on this trail was much steeper and rockier than the other state parks that I've been to, and I definitely felt that in my muscles for the next couple of days. But the views were worth a few sore muscles, and I will definitely visit that state park again. This beautiful spring weather has also allowed me to get outside and do some work in my backyard. Spring is a great time to get the yard in shape. My yard isn't very big, but it works well for me. I have a small electric mower that works really well for the space. I don't use any weed killers or pesticides in my yard. I like to keep it as natural as possible, especially since I have a small dog and lots of feathered visitors. I do have some additional visitors that have been giving me a few problems at my bird feeders. The squirrels are adorable, but they were stealing all of the bird seed from the birds and chasing them from the feeders. So this week I created a couple of makeshift baffles with inexpensive plastic serving bowls from Dollar Tree. The squirrels have tried to figure out how to get around them, but haven't been successful so far. I have no problem with the squirrels eating seed off the ground, and I try to throw a handful or two out there for them to scavenge. The birds are much happier now that the squirrels are on the ground and not always up at the feeders. I got to do a little planting this week. My stepmom asked if I could use some tomato plants because she couldn't use all of them. I was happy to take them. I don't have room for a conventional garden because my yard is so small, So I do some container gardening instead. I've had herbs for several years, but this is the first time I'm growing tomatoes. I did spend some time this week helping a client to organize their home. One benefit that I've seen of having a global pandemic is that it has led so many people to want to live a more simple life. Part of that is reducing the material things that can often become overwhelming. So many people now want to focus on what's really important to them, and they have realized that having so many material belongings isn't what is most important. I've talked before about my father's passing in 2021 and how going through his belongings really gave me some big aha moments about the material belongings I own. So I have been taking time each week to go through one area of my house, organizing it and getting rid of those things that no longer have use for me. I always feel so much lighter after organizing and getting rid of some things. And I'm being more mindful about the shopping I do. It's very easy to purchase things on impulse. I don't go into many stores now unless I do need something, and when I find myself reaching for something that isn't on my list, I question if I really need it. Usually I put the item back. For me, impulse shopping was a bad habit, and awareness has been a big part of overcoming it. I did have some time this week to get back to my favorite state park. It had been a few weeks since I had been, and it was amazing to see just how everything had grown in the months since I had been there. The forest was this luscious green color now. The foliage is so much thicker, and I saw that many of the vining plants are growing in preparation of summer growth season. It's wonderful to have the leaves of the canopy there again, offering shade when the temperatures are a bit warmer. Nature is continuously changing, and it's beautiful to see the changes as we move from season to season. I can see how our lives mirror the seasons. The times in life when we are to plant new seeds, the time when growth happens, the time to harvest, and a time to hibernate and rest. So many people forget the last part. I'm certainly guilty of that. I spent so much of my life feeling like I had to constantly be busy. I didn't know how to rest or relax. That was uncomfortable for me. It took me a long time to discover that being busy constantly doesn't work well for me. And even after I understood that about myself, I still tried to stay busy all the time, because that is what we are told we should do. Like so many others, I was taught that self-care is selfish and that taking time to rest and do nothing made me lazy. But that isn't true. Being busy all the time was making me sick. It left me exhausted and made it difficult to get things done. When I take the time I need to be quiet and rest, I have so much more energy. I am far more productive than when I am busy. It has been a process for me to let go of the guilt of living a slower life, the guilt caused by feeling that I should always be doing something. I had to learn that it's okay to live a life that is different than what the world says is acceptable. I can live a slow life. I don't have to buy all the latest fashions or tech gadgets. I don't have to buy things on impulse just because something is cute or would be handy. I'm focused on living with less, spending less, doing less, and focusing more on what truly matters to me. Who knew that that would make me a bit of a rebel? But I'm okay with that. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you take time to take care of yourself. And I really hope you will come back and visit again soon. If you like this video, please subscribe. And until next time, be well.